So we hear that you're a recruiter extraordinaire. You give in over 17 years, right? To the corporate America space. But now you're venturing off, right? And doing some of your own projects. Let's hear a little bit about your own projects.
Well, one in particular, this little pocket-sized book right here, Corporate Free Agency. These 7 principles to career ownership. You know, pick it up. It's on Barnes & Noble's, Amazon, Apple iTunes, and the like. But I had this idea to write a book almost 5 years ago. And what prompted that was, God gave me the title, which was Corporate Free Agency, the 7 principles to career ownership, and gave me like the outline of what I wanted to write. But I didn't put actual pen to paper until 2021. Where a good friend of mine and fraternity brother, Dr. Charles Dorsey, did a 10-day ebook challenge where he challenged a bunch of folks to say, if you want to get into writing, you want to be an author, you ever thought about it, here's an opportunity for you to write your own ebook in 10 days. And while it took me longer than 10 days to complete, I really looked at that opportunity to say, okay, let me actually put pen to paper and put my ideas into a format that I can later edit and then ultimately get published through Christian Faith Publishing. And what I would say to anybody that's looking to do something like that is don't hesitate. Don't let your fear or your lack of experience prevent you from moving forward in that vein, because I didn't have any experience writing except for writing emails and project papers or notations and stuff like that. But putting something like this together, now I have something that's in the earth.
Yeah.
Forever. You know what I mean? Something that is a part of my legacy and my family's legacy. So with that, it's geared towards encouraging people to take initiative and ownership over their career path, whether it be in entrepreneurship or whether you're going to work a 9-to-5 career path. Mm-hmm. There's nuggets and tidbits in here that can ignite and spark that leap that you need to take.
And I love it because with your career in recruiting and talent acquisition, you've seen what it takes to get in front of a manager, to get that interview, to even circle back and get the job, and how to even show up for the first day. So you've probably seen all types of people, different personality types, different situations come into the fold or not, and you're able to use a lot of that to leverage these 7 wonderful principles. I'm gonna just kind of tell y'all these principles real quick because I love it. So first, why are you looking to make a move, right? Think about your why. I love that. What makes you special, right? Because as a hiring manager, and there's so many people always saying, give me a job. It's like, how do I know you're the one I should give a job to?
Right.
Because here's a gag, I could give it to you just because you need it, but then you might get on my team and make the whole ship sink.
Right.
And nobody got time for that.
Nobody.
I tell my boys, I'll tell you all the time, y'all gonna make me look good. Don't do me that.
Exactly.
I already have to deal with being the African American woman in leadership in my team.
For sure.
No, I don't need anybody else bringing anything but positivity to that formula.
No bad news.
So that goes to the next. Are you in alignment? Because I need to be in alignment with your next step, especially if your next step is gonna be on my team. Be intentional. Know your worth. Keep the bridges intact. Don't be here making bad blood with the people.
Right.
And even when you think you're good, check-ins are good, right? Sure. Always following up, put some time on people's calendars.
Yeah.
Work harder. Yeah. Right. We talk about it. My husband and I always talk about not cutting corners.
Correct.
Because people will do that, won't they?
Right.
I need 110% at all times.
There's no corners you can cut to success. There's anyone that you see that's successful in business or other arenas, they got there through hard work and perseverance, and they just didn't quit.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of mentalities you can talk about, right? The mama mentality or other individuals that you just see as tenacious individuals and that we would love and respect from afar. But it's about you being absolutely insane about your goal and objective on a day-to-day basis and being relentless in that. And even if you stumble and fall and make mistakes, get back up.
Yeah.
Get back up and move forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I think the most impactful part of this book I think, for me, was probably Are You in Alignment?
Mm-hmm.
And that particular chapter, I don't want to spoil it for the folks that want them to get the book itself, but there's a point where I have a conversation with my daughter, right? And this was
Olivia.
Okay. Yeah. And I have a conversation with her, and I'm playing this game, but ultimately, kind of fast forward to the end of the story, she gave me a gut check where I had to recognize, and I correlated that in the book to Are You in Alignment, because I wasn't fully engaged with her at that time, where we had a perfect time to play and enjoy one another and have fun. Whereas if you take that to the flip side of people's careers, have they given their full 110%, as you say, to their position in their job? Right? Have you exhausted all of the resources that exist at your current employer, either through management or employee networks or groups that you are duly aligned with? Have you exhausted all those opportunities to really be the best you can be in your position, to the point that someone else says, you know what, I want Kia for this next opportunity. Right. I want to elevate Brandon for this new role that I have in mind. Mm-hmm. He may not have the exact roadmap of experience, but I love the way he's moving. Mm-hmm. I love the way he's engaging and networking with people in and outside of his particular scope. And that's really what I hope to share in the book itself, but also in that chapter specifically. So, you know, I'm not gonna cheat. Get the book and read it yourself. It's a wonderful story.
Get the book. You heard where to find it. So, anything else as far as projects are concerned? Any visionary things in the works?
I mean, more than likely, I'm leaning towards this podcast space at some point because it is honestly, the more I see other folks like yourself doing it, I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And more importantly, there's other individuals that I want to talk to and engage with, that they have something to yield or speak to that could help out everyone else.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not so much that the space is so saturated.
Yeah.
But I really believe there's a space and place for everybody. Mm-hmm. And my audience does not have to compete with your audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that might be something on the horizon and in the works. Still praying about that, right? But other things that I'm exclusively working on are really helping, especially in the corporate space. I'm huge with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and seeing representation of us, even where I currently work and beyond, sharing the knowledge of how you show up for an interview, your impression management, your ability to manage your brand once you get the job, right? And what tools you need to perfect in terms of soft skills to continuously engage with leaders that are looking for the next person to step up.
Yeah.
In terms of top talent. And so, you know, all of what we've gone through, our collegiate background, educational background has kind of culminated to this point. So
yes.
Who knows? I'm not putting limits on, but definitely podcasts and then expanding in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion is my most immediate.
I love it. You know, and I can even see being on somebody's main stage at some of these conferences, right? Yeah. And just speaking towards the things you've experienced, the things that will help, especially in the leg up in the DEI spaces, right? Because since DEI is supposed to not be a thing anymore,
correct,
it's more about showing up ready to compete.
Correct.
And win.
Right. Whether they want to take away affirmative action or not, and they already did in some instances, you still have to show up and win.
That's
you still
it.
have to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our ancestors, our forefathers taught us.
Yeah.
Right? And have laid the foundation that we need to be, 10 times better, 10 times better, I should say, than the competition. So, and that's just in any space.
Yep. Right. I agree. Welcome to the world of Kia. We get to see everybody in my world.